Hello again, PCQI, and welcome back to our All About Compliance channel. We're going to be discussing PCQI observation, debris during production processing. Let's do this.
Here we go again.
Hello again, PCQI, and welcome back to our All About Compliance channel. We're going to be discussing food and packaging debris left unclean in the processing area. Now, this is an observation that when we are on site and we're kind of looking around and just observing action items from our production process, we're looking at a lot of potential cross-contamination, especially the length of your process. Now, there's a lot of best practices out there that typically you're not cleaning at all, right, while you're in your production. If it dropped on the floor, don't bend over, right? Don't pick anything up. Just kind of move on, to your process and whatnot. But we also understand there's other process out there where, people are talking, they're chit-chatting, or you have more personnel in one area. Basically the traffic in one process, it's just overwhelming. Sometimes when you're watching it, people bumping into each other, trays are getting spilled, the materials that's being processed, it's being spilled on the floor. Either your wet or dry process, this happens. Packaging materials, people are just moving and jamming along, and all of these things are being kicked around, and all of those things, all over the place. Now, take a look at your hazard analysis based on this. My concern for this one is the fact that some processes, they have somebody cleaning, through production, kind of like a housekeeping and just kind of maintaining cleanliness and whatnot, for that process. But then, they're touching either the broom or the dustpan, and they have a service cart that's moving along in this process. And there's a lot of lifting of that, getting to the food level. So that's a big concern, for all of us as PCQI, especially on service tables, right? So we have multi-layered tables sometimes, and we're bending over and we're grabbing paper towels and wiping things off, and we're moving on, to the next process. So we gotta then take a look at our food safety plan or our HACCP. If you are, either a food safety plan setup or in the HACCP setup, you need to take those into consideration. Especially the paper towels, the rolls. People tend to have those high touch points where the fingers go into the hole and you're grabbing and you're tearing those stuff out, and then if somebody else does the same thing, and then that paper towel roll disappears because it's been grabbed by someone else, or you have leftover of these consumables that are not thrown away. They go back to a service cart to be wheeled out of the production room for sanitation to begin, and then we're reintroducing those consumables back into the room once all of these sanitations have been completed. Also need to take a look at your pest control program at that point, because now you have food materials, especially for processes that you're not doing a complete wash down, because you're not going to get all of it. Obviously, it's being kicked, it's being stepped on. So there's a lot of things that we need to make an observation, for that. Now, some of the things that PCQI that we're working with on the field, they have somebody that's kind of keeping an eye out on the housekeeping, for that. And one of the things that we have observed is he or she has a trash bin container that she's basically dragging on the floor, for that process where she's touching the liner and the trash can, and she's doing all of these cleaning function, but sometimes she end up helping, move packaging materials or food contact packaging materials on top of that, because she's, getting things out of the way. So she's touching those, items. So as a PCQI, let's keep an eye out on that as well. Now, another point is also, moving carts around. So you have this particular person, in this case, he or she is going to be the source, for this. She's moving a cart out of the way, or a tote or a bin, to get to, basically this debris. So now you're gonna have to look at that and say, okay, I have that process on there? So take a look at that on your hazard analysis, that incorporates separation of functions. Okay, well, let me end the video there. PCQI, as you know, I try to keep them short and to the point. Thank you once again for your viewership. Until next time, have a great day.
Contact us. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thanks again, PCQIs. Have a good one.